carved out a pretty substantial career for yourself. You were able to make your health and pension on a number of years doing stand-in and background work. How did you get all that? I mean, there are people that would kill to be able to do that.
I was lucky. I had a friend of mine, the actor Dorian Harewood. We used to play basketball together. And one day he said to me, I left Channel 9 because when I was at Channel 9, I worked in a documentary department. So that's when I got my foot wet with documentaries. I did 2 there with a guy named Phil Reeder, a wonderful guy. I haven't seen him in a while, but I've Facebooked him. So that's where I got that start in that type of documentary experience there. I had the associate producer title, yay, at the time, but that ended. And so I was looking for work, and my friend Dorian, a wonderful actor, Harewood, he said, hey, Trey, if you're in the union, you can stand in for me. And I go, okay. So I make some calls, and then
how did you get in the union? That's another hard thing.
Yeah, well, I made some calls, and the people from the show, the assistant director, called me because Dorian gave him my name, and I signed up with Central Casting, and then they got on the show as a stand-in. I had no idea what that was about, had no clue. But there was 5 other stand-ins on it, and they all took me under their wing. All the stand-ins were white at the time, and Dorian was the only Black character, and I was only Black. So working on that show, I didn't have a car. He used to come pick me up, bring me to the studios, and a lot of people used to tease me about that. And then one time he wasn't working, he'd pick me up, bring me back, bring me home. So that's what he did. Had no car. The thing was, nobody told me you needed a car here. I had no clue because, living in New York, I didn't need a car to get around. So it started with that. So we worked on the show for about a month, made a lot of money. And then
they were giving a lot of money back in those days. Now they're tight. Yeah, but at one time they were just throwing money at people.
Yeah, people have houses, double yachts and stuff like that. A lot of the crew, all these overtime, triple time, golden time. But the show ended, and then I had to make a choice. Did I want to get into the Screen Extras deal at the time? So I said yes to that. And then I think I bought myself a scooter. They had those scooters, Honda scooters that came out, and Grace Jones and I think Devo was doing the commercials. And I bought that scooter, and that's how I got around to the studio. So I joined the union, and the people of that show was called Glitter, moved me over to the next show with them. The UPM brought me over to the next show. And so I was standing in for another actor, but the problem was the actor didn't have a car. And so Alexander Folk was working with me at the time. You might have seen him. He was a dad in Dreamgirls. And so he was there, and he took over my spot. He called me, he asked me, he said, listen, Andre, if you don't want me to take it over, I said, hey, you can take it over. I'm fine. I don't have a car to pick up the actor. And so the UPM came up to me and said, Andre, don't worry, we'll work you. I worked more times. They would call me, I played a cop. So I was in all the scenes. And one scene I was in where I was chasing the bad guy down some escalators. And then I get a call, and they said, we want you to come do some loop. And I didn't know what that was. Or ADR, additional dialogue replacement, looping. And so I said, okay. So I went in, and I watched the scene, and I see me come into the frame and run down the escalator. And then before I did that, I had to say, freeze. I think it was freeze, hold it. And I did it like 4 times, and that was it. And after that, I was able to get into the SAG, the Screen Actors Guild, because I was in SEG. When I got into SAG, yeah. So SEG today would be background actors today.
Well, now what was SEG is like combined with SAG. They're like all one union. Yeah.
Because we would call, we were extras. Now they call them background actors, and now they're part of one union, which was, I wish they would have done it sooner, but I got in it. So the thing was, I found out that there were people in the business for years trying to get their SAG card. I got it in a month.
Well, you definitely seem like you have a guardian angel looking over you, because
Yeah,
you just
I was.
seem to kind of fall in place. And props to Dorian. I don't know him at all, but another friend of mine, Ernest Hardin Jr., holds him responsible for being cast in what was a very significant role for him, playing opposite Betty Davis. And that came from Dorian's recommendation. So that's a good brother, man.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know him, but he's a good guy. You can.
yeah. I know this whole family. His family's like family for me. I go over there, they just take care of me.
Yeah. Well, that's good to hear.
And Ernest too. I know we all used to play basketball on the same team together. You never played with us, but Ernest could shoot. Dorian could handle and shoot, and I was just having fun with these guys. But yeah, we played a lot of basketball in the same basketball summer tournaments, 6 feet and under tournaments. Yeah, 6 feet and under. So once I started getting into the business and being on television, because I was working a lot, you could see me on, a lot of the shows back then.
Yeah, I remember.
Even if I was just walking by, sometimes people say, "What do you do for a living?" I said, "I make crosses for a living." They said, "What do you mean?" I cross from A to B and backwards again.
And that's a good paycheck.
Yep. Yeah.
Don't call me Corey Baker, call me Marc Copage, 'cause I'm not Julia's son, not anymore. Don't call me Corey Baker, call me Marc Copage, 'cause I'm not Julia's son like I was before.